See Marty Fit.
Keith, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. How you doing?
Oh, no, I don't got no audio with you, pal. No, see, Marty, I'm going to get you to check your audio and get you to check your internet there, pal. I'm going to pick you off stage.
It's working.
No, I think you got some internet there, pal. You get some problems there here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to take you off and bring you back in. Mike Kinitsky.
I think you have an audio problem, Keith, because I heard him.
Oh, you heard him loud and clear?
Yep.
Let me see.
Had me off the air, and I was going, he's good.
There we go. Hold on. Let's try it out here. Hold the horses. There we go. There he is.
I heard you the whole time.
Keith, can you hear Marty Fitz, Mike Kinitsky, Keith Billis coming here on Mornings in the Lab. The Kraski. I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me, eh, Mike?
Yeah, I hear you both very clearly.
Yeah, there you go. And we can hear Mike's young little man hanging out in the lobby with us today. Awesome.
That's
So, Mike, you have not met C. Marty Fit today.
I feel like I have though.
What's going on? How you doing?
I think we're having some internet challenges with C. Marty because Kinitsky, you're fine. Kinitsky, you're fine.
I see him perfectly.
Yeah, I'm not. Weird. He's frozen on me right now. There you go. We're fine. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna sort it out.
I think this is Bell Internet working for you.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? There you go. There you go. There you go.
Canadian dial-up, 28.8.
Yeah, I'm good.
So we are on the. I'm going to just. I can see Marty. Yeah, no, you're stuttering on this end. Let me just check something right here.
He's not even talking.
I'm gonna come back.
That's it. That's it. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Yeah. So what's going on? So today, Kraski Creator Rankings. We are coming with Ty Hoesgen later on in the hour at the 7:30 mark. Him and I had some jokes around being a best-selling author, worst-selling author, and he called me out. And he's jumping in this morning in the lab. We have Mike Kinitsky, who is ahead of Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart on the Kraski Creator Rankings. John Kraski, he released them here over the last couple of weeks. We got C. Marty Fit back in the lab as well, throwing thumbs up. And then we have some guests coming in today, guys. We have Lila Pinto joining us. We have Virgilio Verhoegh joining us. We have Lisa Gable joining us. And whoever else wants to join us that was offered up over on the Kraski Creator Rankings over the last couple of weeks. Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear now. Yeah, absolutely. It's a little stuttering, but I think we're going to be okay. Yeah, you're certainly not on a fresh connection there, Marty, I don't think. Yeah.
You can hear me, right, Mike?
There you go. So we also have.
Wait, hold up, Keith. Mute your mic. This is going to be our show, dude. Let's talk. Because he's having internet problems.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm on. There you go. We got you now. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So everything's operating fine. So this is making great radio this morning here, guys, with us trying to figure out the internet here. We have problems with Marty, so I'm just going to put Marty aside here for a second, and because everything else is working fine. I got full audio, I got full video, I got Kinitsky coming straight on. Marty is stuck there in the room. I'm not sure why he is stuck in the room, but that is okay. So we also have Ty Hoesgen coming in at 7:30. 60-minute mark, got the accountability check-in. Today is a good one. Yesterday I had a little bit of a rant, Kinitsky.
Why is that?
Did you see my rant?
I don't think you have a rant, though.
What? You don't think I rant?
I don't think you rant. I think you...
I rant every now and then.
Enthusiastically enunciate.
I didn't. No, that's good. Lila Pinto. We are going to, Lila, I dropped you the StreamYard here on the link here. There you go. So hold on. So Lila, you pop on in here this morning when you get a second. This is awesome, man. I didn't know what to expect today with a bunch of people popping in another lab here today, but we're gonna give it a go. I'm glad you jumped in to join me, so I wouldn't be talking to myself right now.
I always have to support. I had a feeling this is going to be a rough one for you.
Oh, and it's Lila, by the way. Yes, Lila Pinto. So I gotta be honest with you, Lila. I knew a Lila that had your name spelt that way. I had a friend that I grew up with, and her name was spelt the same way your name was spelt. So I am pronouncing it the way that I thought it was pronounced, but clearly I am incorrect with that. That's how that rolls. Kinitsky, what do you got planned on the agenda today, and how do you feel? How do you feel about being ahead of Snoop Dogg and ahead of Martha Stewart on the Kinitsky Creator Rankings, my friend?
It would make sense that they would be behind me because in that grouping, I'd be driving the limo. So that would make sense why they were behind me because I'd be at the steering wheel.
Oh, that is it.
That's about the only reason I'd be in that grouping.
Too funny. So let's do something here. I want to pull this up here on the screen. Let me see how I can do that. I am going to present a file and we're going to pull this one up. That one's not going to work. Okay. Then we're going to do this a little differently then. We are going to go and find the Kraski Creator Rankings. We'll pull it up here in a few moments here, Mr. Konetsky. So you're joining us from where today? So those that don't know Michael Konetsky, where are you coming from? Introduce yourself to Nation. Why should Nation be familiar with you, and why should they care about you, Konetsky?
They shouldn't.
Up here in a few moments here, Mr. Konetsky. Well, maybe what we're going to do is we're going to connect with Ambassador Lisa Gable here in the lab this morning. Introduce yourself to Nation. Oh, we have some audio up there. Who's got their audio turned up here? I think it might be Ambassador Lisa Gable. There she is. Lisa Gable. I'm going to ask you to turn your audio down.
What's going on?
There you go. This is awesome morning radio this morning here. I got it. There we go. I'm already fit. There we go.
Okay.
I'm going to mute you. I'm going to mute you.
What's going on?
Lisa's audio all turned up here, so we're going to get her to turn her audio down and bring that up there. See, Marty, we're good now, pal. You got good connection now, buddy.
Okay.
You are solid. You are completely solid. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And let's see if Lisa can hear us now. Lisa's audio all turned up here, so we're going to get her to turn her audio down and bring that up there. See, Marty, we're good now, pal. You got good connection now. Okay, so we're going to just do this. So, Lisa, I'm going to ask you just to turn your audio down so we're not hearing the repeat for everybody else. So I've never had an ambassador in the lab before.
This reminds me when I used to call Z100. Like we have a big radio station here, and when you get on the phone, you have the radio up so you can hear yourself on the radio.
Yes.
And they're like, turn the radio down, dude.
It's exceptional. It's absolutely exceptional. This is awesome. So we've never done this before. Kraski's in his bed right now, sleeping, wondering what the heck is going on. I said, hey, if you got a chance to pop in and join in, that's awesome. If you can't, that's also great as well. So it looks like we have, yes, Lila, this is LinkedIn Live. This is video. We're going to try Ambassador Lisa Gable again. Kraski's in his bed right now. Here we are. What the heck is going on today? So I'm going to mute Marty, and I'm going to mute Michael, and I'm going to looks like audio up on Ambassador Lisa Gable. Yes, Lila, this is LinkedIn Live. This is video. We're going to try Ambassador Lisa Gable again.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Great. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you as well. Thanks for jumping in and joining us. We wanted to celebrate you because as it is your turn to be featured in the Kraski Creator Rankings. John Kraski called you out. It's on the list, and you are being celebrated today.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you as well. Thanks for jumping in and joining us. We wanted to celebrate you. I'm just going to mute Ambassador Lisa there again. There we go. So we're going to get her to sort that out and see if we can get that audio. This is awesome. Lila Pinto, I think, is going to join us as well. We have a few other guests jumping in to join. So the plan here today is to celebrate everybody across LinkedIn Nation and have some fun along the way. Why don't we do this? So I'm going to do this right here. Gentlemen, I'm going to unmute you, There we go. So Lisa's going to get her audio video situation sorted out, and she'll be back here in a moment. See, Marty, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. She might need some headphones.
Ah, that's what it is. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So while we are waiting for Lisa to show up, see, Marty, I had a rant yesterday, man.
What was the rant about? With the lobbyist?
It was after my lobbyist call.
Oh, okay.
I had a rant about independence. I had a rant about... that's no problem, Lila. You come back another time, okay? So hold on, we got some private chat going on here. Lisa is asking us, you might need some headphones. Marty, I had a rant yesterday because I was quite tired of everybody just telling everybody what to do, all the same things. I feel like we're living in a world these days, Marty, where everybody is wanting to do everything's the same. Here comes Lisa Gable. Lisa Gable. Yes, there she is. Snoop Dogg, Martha Stewart, but ahead of Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart is Michael Konetsky. And then, of course, we have C. Marty Fit. And, of course, we have Ambassador Lisa Gable joining us today here in the lab. Lisa, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me. I think it's working.
It is working loud and clear. This is exceptional. So we brought you on today because as you may or may not know, John Kraski called you out on LinkedIn a couple days ago to celebrate you as an incredible LinkedIn creator. Did you know that?
I appreciate being invited.
What's that? We got you locked in as a LinkedIn creator.
I did. It was a big surprise.
It was a big surprise. How do you know John Kraski, Lisa Gable?
So he reached out to me on LinkedIn, told me he wanted to run for office, and I said, let's get on the telephone.
Was it as simple as that? He just called you up and said, I want to go into office?
He did. I've been watching his stuff for a period of time, and I was impressed with his initiative.
That is exceptional. So clearly, if anybody wants to run for office, see Marty Fit, Michael Kinitsky, you just got to pick up the phone and call an ambassador. Call Ambassador Lisa Gable and she'll get you set up.
I've been following his stuff for a long time, and he's done this amazing job of promoting other people and demonstrating that he had an ability to build a community. And that's what this is all about. It's America. If you want to run for office, if you're not happy with the way the world is going right now, then do something about it.
Oh, I like that. I like that. You guys met a little bit ago, and John was on my show a couple weeks ago and said he was going to be running for politics. So if somebody was wanting to run for politics today, Lisa Gable, what are you suggesting they should be standing up for and putting their hand up for today?
I'm a big believer in free markets and free people, and I am a huge promoter of the United States. In my ambassadorial role, I talked about hope, optimism, enterprise, and freedom. And really what on LinkedIn are people who take initiative. They are building their portfolios, they're building their businesses, they're committing to ideas, and that's what this country is all about.
It absolutely is what this country is all about. We have Lisa Gable's portfolio here up on the screen here. And as you can see, she joins us from Washington. She is a Wall Street Journal, USA Today best-selling author, keynote speaker, chairperson, CEO. Lisa strikes me as somebody who's actually probably maybe a lazy soul, doesn't achieve very much, just sitting around, see Marty, Mike, not really moving the needle anywhere. It's clear that she, all joking aside, moves the needle every single day inside of Washington. What's on the agenda today, Lisa Gable?
I should say what was on the agenda this week. This week, I spent time with women from Afghanistan and Iran who are dissidents and trying to support the women in their countries that are protesting and speaking out. And yesterday, I spent the day with the Ukrainian ministers who have been suffering from abuse from the Russians and torture and losing children who've been kidnapped. And so it's pretty intense right now. I'm going to be very honest with you.
Yes. Exceptional. And what struck me here, Lisa, was you made a post here a day ago about embracing leadership. And it's funny because I had a rant yesterday. I'm going to play a little bit later in the show. There's maybe a little bit of a cuss in it. So if the children are tuning in, we might want to put it aside. But Lisa, it struck me about your post on embracing leadership because I find too many people these days are becoming followers. And we need leaders. We need people to lead instead of follow. Comment on that.
We do. And the thing is, let me start over. There are 4 billion people voting this year. More people are voting this year than ever in the history of the world. You have a right to vote. You have a right to speak up. You live in a country where you have a right to protest. And so I'm having an issue where people are sitting back and saying, the world's happening to me. No, you happen to the world, and you've been given the freedom and the opportunity to do something about it. And so if we're unhappy, why sit back? There are more people that are unhappy with the same things. If we band together, if we link arms, we can actually make a difference. Otherwise, it's going to happen.
It's true. So Lisa, before we move on to our accountability segment, what's one thing that myself or C. Marty or Michael Kinitsky or anybody listening to the show today, what's one thing that somebody can do today to move the needle in North America? I'm here in Canada. So what could somebody do to move the needle in North America today? They're getting up, they're starting their day. They're going, I don't know. What can they do, Lisa?
Think about one nice thing you can do for another person. It may be as simple as going online and posting and commenting, or it may be sending someone's resume out for a job. It might be calling that young person that's graduating from college, one of those people that didn't get to have a commencement this year, or actually when they were a senior in high school. It's a hard time for kids. And so find a kid who is graduating, encourage them to do something great, tell them that they have your number and they can call you whenever they have questions about their job exploration or things they might want to do as a volunteer.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's a great message to send somebody today. Just pick up and do something positive. Mike, I can see you nodding there. See Marty Fit. Any quick questions for Ambassador Lisa Gable before we say goodbye to Lisa today?
I don't have a question. I could just say, as a Russian and Ukrainian, what you're talking about, I get, because the idea of having a choice and not having to fear retaliation from your government, which I could obviously speak to firsthand about Russia. That's probably one of the most, for me, having come here to escape a lot of those things, it's really silly how many people feel like they don't have a choice. So they just keep getting tied into the news cycle that we see and feel like it's happening to me, but never actually want to do something about it. So it's a pretty important message.
Yeah, exactly. So Lisa, thanks for jumping in today and joining us. We're going to keep the show moving on here. We got a few other guests to pop in here. I'm sure you have an exceptionally busy day today. Will you come back and sit one-on-one with me sometime in the lab to do a one-on-one extensive? I would love to talk to an ambassador. I'd love to learn about your day. I would love to learn about, I've never sat down and talked one-on-one with an ambassador of the United States before. And I would love the opportunity to sit down and chat with you, learn about your role, learn about how you move the needle, what day-to-day is like in your world. Would you join me back again for sit down for an hour in the show one time?
Absolutely. I'd love to sit down with you. And this time I'll actually know how to make my StreamYard work.
No, listen, we are doing fun, organic things here in the morning. We started this show 50 episodes ago. We are iterating, Lisa, 1% better every day. And I'll segue back to your statement yesterday. It's about being a leader. And sometimes people just don't know how to start. My suggestion is just get started and try to get 1% better every single day, like I know you do, Lisa Gable, yourself. So thanks for jumping in and joining us today. And I'm glad you're here, and I'm going to welcome you back sometime in the future, okay?
Great. Thanks so much. Nice to meet you guys.
Awesome.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you
you,
so
Lisa.
much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Lisa Gable joining us here this morning. That was fun. Our first ambassador here in the lab here, guys. Never know what's going to happen here with in the Business Athlete Performance Lab, live in lab in the mornings. Guys, so it's the time for the accountability check-in. Ty Hoesgen is going to join us here at the bottom of the hour. It themes back to what Lisa talked about around leadership and following. And yesterday I ran a clip. I'm going to run it right now. It's about 2 minutes. I invite everybody to tune and listen to it. There's an F-bomb in it. So if you got kids in the room, I invite you to just tune them out. But it's about leadership and not being a follower. Virgilio, I see you in the green room. We're going to bring you up here in a minute. We're going to run this clip, and then we're going to talk about leadership, not being a follower, and see what you guys think about this. Hang tight. Watch this. Maybe, if it's going to work. As I'm still figuring out this. Hold on a second here.
Come on, OG, you got it.
I know. Yeah, here we go. Could you imagine if we were all the same? Could you imagine if we all just did the same thing? Could you imagine if all music sounded the same? Could you imagine if every book was the same? Could you imagine if every movie was the same? Could you just imagine that? I'll tell you why this is on my mind today. Because I feel like everywhere I'm looking these days, everybody's just telling me to do the same. Post your content this way, post your content that way, do your content this way, make it this way, make it that way. You know what? Fuck that. Actually, no, honest to God, could you imagine if Drake decided to sound like everybody else, or Taylor Swift said, no, I'm just going to sound like everybody else? Could we imagine if that happened? Or if Madonna or any artist in the planet said, no, I am going to make the same music as the rest of the world, and that's just what they're going to listen to. No, I'm going to ask you, nation, whether you want to be a follower or you want to be a leader. I know what I want to be. Ask yourself that question. While you might take tips and tricks from everybody else, don't be like everybody else. Don't try to be like everybody else, because all you're being then is just a follower. You're just perpetuating what everything else is happening. Man, so many people in my ears saying, do this, do that, do this, do that, be like this, be like that. Really? No, I'm doing it my way. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to set it my way. I'm going to walk my way. I'm going to learn from my mistakes. I'll share them with you. But I'm not going to be like everyone else. Nope, not going to do it. And I'm going to be honest with you, nation. I feel like I've been pulled in directions lately by just, I don't know, what's around me. I'm like, no, hell with it. I went for a walk today and I had to get some things off my chest, so I did, into my good old otter right eye. And then I sat back and reflected upon that conversation this morning. I was like, no, I'm going to rant about it, get it off my chest. Tell nation how I feel. And how I feel is this: go be the blue fish in a pond of silverfish. Listen, observe, but be your own thing. Make your own sound. Make your own sound. Create your own art. That's it. Create your own art. Make your own sound. Virgilio, Verhoegh, See Marty Fit. Virgilio, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. And I just realized that the mic doesn't work properly. Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you loud and clear. Yeah.
Okay, so we manage without technology. Actually, it is partially technology, but very happy to be here. And thank you to John for introducing us. He's just such a fabulous human being. I actually met him in person in Miami a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, on behalf of C Marty Fit, we're sorry to hear that you met John in person. I know that was probably an experience that you just can't look back upon, and you probably can't unsee that whole experience, I'm thinking.
So he's unfortunate.
Virgilio, how do you pronounce your name properly? How do I say it properly?
Verhoegh.
Oh, C Marty, you want to try that?
Oh, look at that. We have some talented people
on,
in
man.
the room today.
Come on, man. Don't underestimate me, Keith. Come on, man.
All right, I'm gonna swap the host chair here. See, Marty, you're on the chair, man. You go.
All right, Virgilio. No,
Virgilio, where do you join us from today? You join us from Miami today?
I'm joining you from Miami today, from the gorgeous, sunny Miami.
That's awesome. And so, gorgeous, sunny Miami. What's the weather like there today? Is it actually gorgeous and sunny?
It's actually almost sunny. I think the sun will come out soon, but it's about 100 degrees. So yes, it's very hot and humid. Unexpected this, but because it's only like May, but I love it here. I've been actually in New York City for 23 years prior to moving here.
Oh, wow.
So I'm still adjusting to having a fabulous life.
Where did you move from, Virgilia?
From New York City. I was in New York City for 23 years prior to that.
Excellent. Okay, so you're an executive brand communication advisor. You're a speaker, corporate trainer. You turn brands into household names. And you're from Miami, Florida. And again, what struck me was you're about attention. Number one is the social currency. Attention is the number one social currency. It really is today in 2024. Talk about that for a couple moments, Virgilia.
When we look what happens currently on social media platforms and digitalization have completely reshaped the relationship between brands and consumers. What we are currently witnessing is exceptionally well pre-designed, so to speak, because now more than ever, we have the opportunity to get in front of our audiences and consumers with a click of a button, right? Just a couple of decades ago, this would not be possible, what we are doing today, at least not at this level. You would have to go into a TV studio. Now, social media gave us all a voice. But also the fact that everyone has a mic increases the responsibility of being in front of the camera. And that's why attention, I always tell audiences, consumers, attention is the number one currency. That's how you get in front of your audiences and consumers. The issue we are having for how long we are retaining the attention. Getting attention is easy. You can get attention with anything, especially for women, right? Wearing a specific attire or doing something, but that stays like a few seconds. But how are you going to convert that short span attention into a long-term attention? This is a gift, and it mostly revolves around how you craft your social media platforms and especially content strategy. And now we are talking about short format content, which truly revolutionize what's happening currently in the world. So yes, attention is important, but more important than attention is for how long you retain it. Now, the reason I call it the number one currency, that's how the world is shaped around us. Personally and professionally, everything starts from attention, getting that attention. All eyes on you, as Tupac, one of my favorite artists, famously said.
Oh, I like that. Yes. See, Martin, we're referring to Tupac here on the morning show this morning.
No, I love it. Virgilia, how important is it to have that social media presence? And do you think people are irrelevant if they don't have it for their business or if they're trying to grow nowadays?
In 2024, if you don't have an online presence in social media, you will not survive. And I know it sounds quite dramatic because yes, there are billionaires without a social media, but we are talking about personal and organizational brands that aim to compete and be highly regarded and get great business out there and get their presence known. Why? Because the consumer is digital. My father is in his 70s. He follows me on Instagram. We cannot escape digitalization. It gave us the opportunity to utilize free platforms, and people still don't leverage it. Myself, I'm guilty of it. I just got on LinkedIn recently. As you can see, I only have 12,000 followers. On Instagram, I have over 100,000. So we always think that social media platforms are our digital business cards. Certainly, I do think so. People Google us. If I meet you right now, I will most likely go to your LinkedIn right after our talk and get to know you better. It's basically the vehicle for people to understand who we are, even though they might be oceans apart. So I call social media our digital business card, our resume. It's the quickest way to make an impression. You have to understand that this is your executive presence. Make the best of it from A to Z. Every post you post, everything you say, every comment you post under someone's post is part of your digital presence and needs to be taken very seriously.
Virgilio, we live in a world where many people are talking about personal brands, left and right personal brand. The days of just spitting out a resume and putting words on paper seem to be rapidly past us. We all saw the announcements this week with OpenAI and Google and Gemini and these bots that are going to be able to see and talk with us. Virgilio, when you look at the next 24, 36, 60 months of social and media as a whole and personal branding as a whole, what are you saying to people that are just beginning to embrace or are struggling to embrace the digital world that it's clearly that we are in now and never looking back upon?
Consume content intentionally and strategically first. Educate yourself. I look at social media as having the downside, but also being a tremendous force in promoting. But a lot of the content out there, we should not consume. You should be a creator. You should aim to consume, let's say, allocate an hour a day where you educate yourself. You consume other people's product. Now the focus should be on creating your own content before getting in front of the spotlight and in the spotlight. And I know it can be intimidating. Not everybody was born in front of the camera with a mic in front of their face. Just analyze yourself and understand who you are as a personal brand. I believe a lot of people get out there very quickly creating content without factoring in, if people see me every day or every other day, what are the core values and the expertise element that will stand out with every post? So you create a repetitive brand awareness around your personal brand and people will recognize you. So the idea is that behind a personal brand, first, we also created a personal brand identity because I realized people struggle. So it's a 90 minutes one-on-one with me. When we go in depth, it's almost a psychological analysis, who you are, what you stand for, what your core values are, what your expertise. And this is big, Keith, because a lot of people want to be everything to everyone.
Yes.
Our hobbies are not our expertise. This needs to be taken more seriously than ever. I love to cook, but I'm not a chef. I should not be talking and leveraging my social media platforms to show off my cooking skills. I know branding. So 80% of our content on social media should be designed around our area of expertise and ensuring we make the best of it. Secondly, create a content strategy that is very well put together. You have to know from A to Z every month, what am I selling? What precisely is my call to action? And how am I going to create that wow factor with my content that will leave audiences in awe of me and want to follow me, not just give me a click and a like, but follow me and obviously purchase my products and services in an ideal situation.
Ty Hoesgen joining us here in the lobby. He's in the green room. We'll bring him up here in a moment. Ty, we're featuring you here in a couple moments, my friend. We're going to jump in here. Virgilia, I had to see Marty. Lila Pinto had a question, and she was going to join us here in the lab this morning, but she's only on audio feed. So, Lila, you're going to come back here another time. Excited to welcome you in here and have a great chat with you. But Virgilia, Lila has a question for you, and it's probably a question that maybe even resonates for me too, which is, what about young retirees at the age of 50 that want to play nothing but golf and don't have any social media accounts, but are eager to get back into the workforce, want to get back into the workforce, are nervous of today's world? Article after article is, hey, in your 50s, it's hard to get a job. I've been lame with my social media. I'm scared of my personal brand. What do you say to that person, Virgilia?
I would say Martha Stewart started her business at 50 years old. She's legendary.
That's a good one.
Right? She reinvented herself over and over again. Age cannot dictate who we are, and our expertise and credibility doesn't die because we turn a certain age. I would say educate yourself first. Start studying social media. There is a human being I absolutely adore. He's 75 years old, Ray Dalio.
Yes.
Ray Dalio is one of the greatest finance geniuses of our time. What did he do? When social media started, he didn't say, I'm a billionaire, but nobody knows I exist. He said, how am I going to get in front of the young audiences that need my advice and help them to leverage their knowledge, help them to educate themselves? He started to do reels. Now he has millions of followers on LinkedIn, on Instagram. You cannot allow fear to dictate who you are. People are scared not because they are 50 years old, because societal beliefs teaches us that we have an expiration date. But when we look back in history, some of the greatest minds of our times built businesses in their 50s, late 40s. I don't recall what actor, I believe it was Morgan Freeman, who started very late in life and ended up winning Oscars. So do not allow society to tell you who you are. Number two, get to know social media. Get acquainted with social media platforms and identify what's your platform. Not every platform would welcome you. Is YouTube your platform? Is Instagram? Is LinkedIn? Once you identify the platform that resonates with you the most, follow the leaders. Who are the top leaders in that platform that really resonate with you? Watch what they do, take notes, and then look back, take a step back and think, for the first decades of my career, what was my wow factor? Number two, what was the expertise that generated the most revenue for me? Number three, what value can I add to my audiences and consumers? If I'm in my 50s, how can I share value with a young audience? What is it in my expertise that could change these young people's lives? And what is it for people in my age group who follow me? So it's very strategic. Social media, a lot of people think it's fun. It's actually a job. If you want to create success out of it, you really have to invest time. And I always say, don't be afraid to ask questions. Reach out to people like myself, to people like Keith, Marty, right? Don't be intimidated to reach out to the people you admire on social media. They do have teams that will answer to you. Tune in to events like this one today. How fabulous is this, right? Be present, learn. And yes, age is just, I'm in my 40s, I'm just getting started. And look, some of my favorite personal brands in the world, I'm surrounding myself with them. Michael Jordan is in his 60s. He's fabulous. I listen to him. I'm like, this man is a mine of gold. Just because in his 60s, he's just getting started in a different type of career as an entrepreneur. So those are the people that inspire me. I have around me in my office all the people who changed my life. Steve Jobs, that's a limited edition. You've never seen him like that. That's a photographer that followed him when he was very young. Surround yourself with greatness and don't allow anyone to tell you that your age is an impediment. Leverage it. Being 50 is a privilege. Some people don't get to be 50, so appreciate it and make the best of it.
Oh, I like that. Surround yourself with great. I love that, Marty. I love that a lot. So surround yourself with greatness, which is why I here in the lab this morning am surrounded by Virgilia, C. Marty Fit, and of course, Ty Hoesgen. Virgilia, I'm hitting 52 this year, and I woke up here this year and told C. Marty Fit and told my kids that Dad's going to become a creator. So you're never too old to get started and get rocking and rolling in the space here. Virgilia, we're going to pivot our conversation to Ty Hoesgen, going to shine the light and celebrate Mr. Hoesgen here today. Virgilia, I welcome you to stick around for questions and commentary with Ty as well. Ty, we're going to turn the light, see Marty. We're going to rotate it over to Hoesgen over there and see Marty. You know how I met Ty?
How was that?
He told me he was a best-selling author. And I was like,
oh, this is the guy.
This is the guy. Yeah,
this is the guy.
This is the guy. Because Virgilia, I don't know who ever puts on their profile that they're a worst-selling author.
Personal branding is powerful.
It's funny because that's how Ty and I started, because Ty said to me, because Ty questioned me, and he's like, but Keith, he's like, could you imagine if you put on your profile that you sold your company for $10 and it was a pile of dog crap, how that would be for your personal brand? And then Ty struck it up with myself and we had some fun with it. Ty, thanks for joining me here in the lab today. We're here to celebrate you and your work. Where are you joining us from today, pal?
Thanks, Keith. Appreciate that. First of all, Virgilia, I could listen to you all day with your voice, everything that you have to say. You're waking me up more than this cup of coffee that I have here. So props to you. You're so fun to listen to.
Where are you joining us from today, pal?
And I'm calling from Toronto. I was looking at your profile, Keith. You're in Western Saskatchewan in Manitoba, and I actually grew up in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. So
yes,
prairie boys here at heart.
That's right. I'm not far from you. I'm not far from you up the road here. So Ty, what keeps you active on LinkedIn, and what keeps you active moving the needle for people across the world? What do you do for folks there, Ty?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm a communication coach, and I help professionals speak with more confidence and clarity so they can make more money, advance their careers, have better relationships, all that good stuff that people seem to want. And what keeps me going on LinkedIn? LinkedIn is the best platform, in my opinion, if professionals or business people are your demographic. I love the connective atmosphere. And by connective atmosphere, there's such a focus on commenting, messaging, engaging, supporting versus Instagram. I like TikTok, all that stuff is well and good. But LinkedIn, it's just such a community of people hopping on doing shows like this. This is the norm versus other platforms. Yeah, it's a little bit more random, a little bit more strangers. People aren't messaging as much. So I love LinkedIn because it helps me do stuff like this too.
What's the biggest challenge you have with social, Ty? Because Virgilia was making some great points that people jump into social, and I know C. Marty Fit and myself have had this conversation before about doing all these things, doing 4 things, doing 3 things, adopting a bunch of platforms. Have you been just a proponent, Ty, of embracing one platform? Have you done a many, or what? How have you introduced your social media strategy to your business?
I tried to make it as easy as possible. So I would make content and then just post the same stuff on TikTok, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, which that's probably not the best strategy to have the exact same stuff on each one because different types of content perform a little bit differently on each platform. But that's how I started anyways. And then since then, I'm really only doing Instagram. I'm doing a lot of reels on there, and LinkedIn, it's a lot of videos. So there's some overlap. TikTok, I was actually banned from, so I just gave up on that altogether.
Oh yeah, how come?
My conspiracy theory is that whoever owns TikTok does not want us to become healthy, strong communicators and speak our minds. But what it actually was, I put a link in my bio that led you to a free lead magnet. And the lead magnet link was Video Call Star. It's a free course on video calls, but maybe they misinterpreted Video Star. There's something there where there was a different connotation to it. Maybe they thought it was doing different stuff on video, being a star, right? So maybe that's why, but I share such wholesome stuff. It's just good communication tips for professionals, for business people. So the conspiracy theory, that's probably me putting on my tinfoil hat a little bit and getting too down the rabbit hole. But there's no one clear explanation because they do not answer if you inquire.
Interesting. OS Benari, we have you in the green room. We're bringing you on here in a quick second. Hello. Thanks for jumping in and saying hello. We want to keep the light shining on Ty for a few moments, though. So if you are looking to speak with confidence and not get banned on TikTok, see Marty Fit.
I'm surprised I'm not banned on TikTok if he got banned.
For those of you who want to get some humor into your day, I invite you to check out C. Marty Fit's Instagram feed, TikTok feed. The guy brings it real. If you're looking to be held accountable, he's not going to let you crush the half-pound peanut butter cups in front of you. So I invite you to watch C. Marty Fit to keep your life forward. But Ty Hoesgen, communication coach, 2 times best-selling author. What, did you figure that 1 was not good enough? So you said I got to do 2?
I'm going for 3 now. I don't think 2 is quite cutting it. 3, we like groups of 3s, the way that our brains work. So I'm going for 3 now. If you can do it twice, there's no reason you can't do it 3 times. The thing is, though, if I don't get it the 3rd time, you better believe that's just staying at 2. It's not going to say 2 times best-selling author, 1 time normal selling author. I think, to your point too, Keith, how this conversation first started, a lot of times you'll see a lot of best-selling author or whatever it is, because if somebody just becomes an author and is not best-selling, sometimes they just don't put it. I have friends like that. They won't put it in the headline. They'll maybe talk about their book in a conversation or with a prospective client, whoever it might be, has a little bit more credibility. But just being an author when a lot of people are best-selling authors, I know people will specifically just omit it and not have it. So there's something to be said for these little things that do add credibility, for sure.
There you go. Let's add some credibility to the show by adding OS Benari onto the show. And let's see, did I say your name correctly, OS?
It's Oz.
Oz, sorry. I'm learning a bunch of new names today. Hey, team, let's see if Oz is a best-selling author. She is being celebrated on Kraski's Creator Rankings because I'm sure she would not put up, I am a worst-selling author. But hey, Oz Benari.
But I did learn something from Ty today.
Oh, what did you learn?
That you need to put this in your title.
So Oz, how do you know John Kraski? Because you were called out in the Kraski Creator Rankings. He celebrated you.
So sweet.
Yeah, how do you know John?
So I'm I will say, day job. I'm in product management, so I often look at new technologies, new trends, and one of them 2 years ago, 3 years ago, was Web3, and I was really working towards learning from people who
Yes.
share information, come to events, go to events, learn together, share their company experience, because it was really at its beginning, its start. John started with really great events, bringing the community to learn together and do things together. And so he was super kind with the information he was sharing, as well as invitation to events when he was coming to the city. And so I think I found him just by the fact that I was researching just another trend that I wanted to be a part of as part of my job. And then it continued from there and became more of like a LinkedIn friendship. We did meet at several events that he was running, both in Miami as well as in New York. And then I met him in a conference. So we met several times. But I think what kind of kept us in touch was LinkedIn.
That's exceptional. So your top 25 product-led growth influencers, author,
There you go.
speaker, product leadership, workplace
Best-selling
resilience.
author, according to Ty.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm suspecting
Add it in.
Ty, you're starting a movement here, man. I think that your title needs to reflect that. Maybe it's like the ultimate exceptional best-selling author. Virgilia talked about personal branding. Ty, I think we can really make something of this with you, between you and I, shining the light on this worst, best, exceptional selling author. We can have some fun with this, pal.
Yeah, what's a word that's better than best? Can we take this one step further? What's above a best-selling author? That's what we're trying to shoot for now.
That's exactly it. Hey, Oz, there's something here that popped out on your feed that I looked at yesterday that I really enjoyed, which was you already got to know unless you ask. And this post strikes me because it's a sentence you said, my mentor told me once, and I hold this advice in my head: the job, promotion, the opportunity. What if you could ask someone's help to get it? And if they say no, talk about this post quickly, about this idea you already got to know unless you ask, Oz.
Yeah. So it's really something that my first mentor, we're still in touch. He actually wrote the foreword for my book. That's how in touch we are. He always said that to me. You should always try and make sure that you know what you need, but then also be able to articulate that when you need it. And I think with what I'm seeing more and more these days is that people that are true networkers, they know how to end the conversation with, so let me know how I can support you, right?
Mm.
And so if you don't have an answer, that's a missed opportunity. And when I wrote my book, one of the things I wanted, and John has her on his link as well, is I wanted two people to be as early reviewers of my book. I did not know them, but I admired their work. I was following them on social media, and I really wanted them to be part of my book journey. One of them was Chris Schembra. He's the gratitude guru. And in my book, I talk about the 6 steps to reinventing your career. And one of the things is to build your resilience. And I truly believe in gratitude. And as a gratitude guru, I was following his work. And I said, what if he can actually write a review for my book? And so I did. I contacted him and he immediately responded and he said, absolutely, send me the chapter and I'll happy to get involved. And so I did. And I was like, okay, he's never going to respond now because I gave him work to do. And he did. And he wrote he's 2 times Ty, 2 times New York best-selling author. He's a speaker. I don't know if you have not attended his gratitude sessions, life changer. So really great content. So he's the first one. And the second one was Lisa Gable, who is on John's list. Lisa's work. So Lisa is also a best-selling author, and she wrote a book about change, similar to mine, but her book is about change in corporates. And I wrote the book about change in people. And I thought that in my dream world, our books can be sold together. And so I was like, can I contact her? What are the chances that an ex-US ambassador and a person with her clout will even respond to me? And not only that she did, she actually gave me marketing tips for my book, like a reality check of what will work and what won't, and read my book and wrote the review. And so these are just 2 examples. I got jobs this way. I got keynote speaking engagements this way. There's so many opportunities that were just by the fact that I was able to articulate my ask. And to tell you the truth, I don't remember the no's, because there's so many yeses that come my way that a no is just, oh, okay, I'll ask someone else. Never mind. And I will say, some people say yes and they won't do it. It's a no, but I move on because so many other people are so kind with their time and their contacts and their availability. And it's a world that people love being part of someone else's success.
Yes.
And I think that if you give them that opportunity, then you actually give back. I will say that if you forget to update them how much they actually helped you and how it came to fruition, then that's not a good practice. So you need to also go back and update people.
What strikes me, Oz, about your comments, Ty, Virgilia, C. Marty, is there's no harm in asking. There's actually no harm in asking. Hey, Ty, so if you're looking for a review, you're thinking, hey, I'd like Keith to review my book because maybe his review will make me a best-selling author. You're thinking, nah, he's never going to respond to my email. It's incredibly exciting when you do reach out on somebody's door. It actually happened to me in the last 24 hours. Kraski had this thing set up. Yesterday I was hanging out with my wife. Happy birthday, baby. See, Marty, it's Lauren's birthday today. So
happy birthday, Lauren.
Yeah, we're going to do a little birthday shout out to her a little later. But I was working last night on today's show, and it was incredible to me, Oz, how many people knocked on their door. Like, yeah, I'd love to join the show. Virgilia had more energy last night. I'm like, oh my God, I got to have a pot of coffee ready because this woman's going to drive me. My energy is off the charts. Her energy last night, see Marty at 10 o'clock was like, thinking, Ty, you have no idea what's coming in this morning into the lab this morning. But
I had like 5 hours of sleep because my girlfriend and I, we got lost and we were driving around. Don't ask me. We went to this fabulous Turkish restaurant and I said, in 5 hours, I have to just look decent on camera and also but I'm usually like that. I think I'm like an energizing bunny. I believe when you have passion for life, it's not about how many hours of sleep you had, or you just show up like the best version of yourself, and it's a joy. And surround yourself with greatness. Look, the room with some spectacular human beings. Aside of being professionals, great professionals, look at the type of humanity we brought into this room, and that energizes you as well. And as lovely connecting with you as well. I believe we are not connected yet on LinkedIn, but what a pleasure to be here.
Oh, this is dreams come true for me. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. When I started this show here, whatever it is, I started live in the lab a number of months ago, started the morning show on this whim of playing into people's human habits. I know I grew up with turning morning radio on, morning television on. And then I said to C. Marty and Nicole I was working with at the time, and hey, what's shaking, Nicole? Love you, Nicole. I said, hey, I wonder if we showed up in the morning, if people would show up, because it's human habits. And sure enough, we started creating content in the mornings and people started showing up. And it's like, hey, this is pretty cool that people are joining us for conversations in the morning to start their day. And then when Kraski released the Kraski ratings, he was on my show a couple weeks ago. We had some fun. He made the announcement to go into politics. And he's like, hey, I'm going to start making some lists. Let's do Kraski's Creator Ranking. I'm like, let's do it. And now I got Oz on the show. I got Virgilio on the show. I got Ty Hoesgen on the show. See Marty, Lisa Gable, the ambassador from the United States on the show. Come on. This is fun. And so every Thursday, we're going to do this. We're going to do Kraski Creator Rankings. And now, actually, see Marty fit. Here's my turn to take a quick minute and put an ask out to Business Athlete Nation, John Kraski Nation, LinkedIn Nation, Ty Hoesgen, maybe you want to help with this. See Marty fit, maybe you want to help with this. Konetsky, you're gone, man. I hope you're tuning in right now. But we want some help from Nation to continue putting together the ongoing Kraski Creator lists. I don't have the bandwidth full time to do this, and I know John doesn't either. I have the bandwidth to have the platform for us to make the celebration. John has the bandwidth because he has a bunch of connections to keep us all connected and weave his red thread through all of us. But I'm asking all of you, Nation, if you want to get involved with this, and this is a wonderful way to network. Virgilia just gave us a few minutes ago about the power of social media. Oz talked about the power of people saying no when you don't even know if they're going to say yes. Ty, the 2 times best-selling author, going on his 3rd time, that's going to wreck the streak for him, I think, is here today in the lab joining us and talking about connection. Come to the lab, put your nominations up here. Who do you want to see on the Kraski's Creator list? We want to have a massive talk show, massive conversations, bringing everybody together. So this is absolutely a dream for me right now, happening right now. So what is going on today, guys? We're wrapping up the show. We're coming up to the top of the hour. I'm going to go around the table. So, Virgilia, did you just say you only had a few hours of sleep last night?
Yes, we got lost. We were driving around for hours, and that's what it happens. Like, I'm new to Miami, fairly new. I've been here for a year, so that's it. But we had a great time, great conversation. When you have the great company, I always say, even if you're in a car, make sure that the person you're in a car with is at least at your level, possibly smarter than you. And guess what? We were strategizing our future collaboration, so it was all good. Make sure you have the right company always. That's why we are here this morning.
This is true. This is true. So, what do you got on the agenda today? You're going to get a nap in today, Virgilia? Or are you full on working?
She doesn't nap.
I actually have a full day ahead of me. I have something at 10, and then I have to work out at the gym. There's a specific class I take, and then we have to go to Fort Lauderdale. There's a big Turkish event organized by the Chamber of Commerce. So it's a full day, full week still. I can't believe it's just Thursday. I feel like we need so much more to accomplish. And I have my best motivation as I adore this man. This man has taught me more about personal branding than anybody else. And yeah, so it's a full day ahead. What about you?
Oh, I'll get to me in a quick second. I want to have you back for a one-on-one here in the show. I want to talk more personal branding with you. Ty Hoesgen, what do you got going on today, my friend? What's happening in Toronto today? You got some coaching going on today? What's moving the needle for you in your world today, Ty?
Yeah, definitely a couple coaching calls. Got to write some content. After seeing that shirtless Michael Jordan picture on the front of the book cover enough times today too, definitely got to hit a workout. Have to. Michael's looking shredded on there. It's making me look a little soft. So absolutely have to hit the gym, try to get to that 60-year-old Michael Jordan physique. That's priority number one. I'm actually going to hit there's a place in Toronto called Othership. So it's a sauna ice bath space. So I'm one of those guys that does ice baths and then talks about it, which is everybody that does ice baths.
Yes. I heard about this place. I saw that, what's his name? UFC Dana was calling it out as the greatest gym spa place in the world, he called. So
yeah, that was huge. He said it was, I think, the greatest sauna and ice bath space on earth, which, I mean, you'd probably have to go to all of them in the world to make that comment accurately. So I don't know if he's been to every single one that exists, and then he's like, this is the best one out of all of them. But what a huge shout out. I didn't know it was that good, but it is an exceptional space called Othership. I go there probably every couple of weeks just to challenge myself, but also relax, get a little blissed out at the same time. So yeah, that's on the docket for me today. It's going to be a good one.
Nicely done, Ty Hoesgen. Oz Benari, what do you got going on the docket today? And will you come back and join us again sometime?
Oh yeah, I'd love to. And I love that you're setting this up. I think people need access to more ideas and more people like them, like-minded people. And I think that these get-togethers are already, to me, it's already 3 people that are new. And so I'd love to be a part of this, and I'd love to continue to follow and see who else I can learn from. Today, I actually need to focus on my work. And my work is I work as a head of product at an emotion AI company. We're about to launch V2. We only launched a beta a few months ago, and we're launching and opening a new version. So I'm working on test scenarios, on communication, on improving the latest comms and marketing. So got my day full.
That's awesome. That's a lot of fun. And Oz, Virgilia, Ty, see Marty and I, and we tell everybody this: once you have been a guest of the lab, you are now a friend of the lab, or the doors, or the fridges, or the couches. We run every single day here at 8 o'clock Eastern time. We go for an hour, probably going to extend to a couple hours here at some point soon. You are welcome here anytime. Come bring your coffee cup, come meet guests, come have conversation. You've been invited. I want you guys to come back and come hang out with us and come, because this is old school morning show, radio, TV, whatever you want to call it. But our goal here is to have a global conversation, to talk about topics that move the needle and help us all connect as human beings. See, Marty, what do you have going on in the banter today, my friend?
Definitely a workout. Got a few client calls, and I have one more training session later.
Nice.
Got a packed day.
Nice. Yes, you and me both. I got an active day as well. Lila Pinto, thanks for jumping in today and joining us as well here in the lab. I know you joined from afar as you were actively sorting out your audio video issues, which is totally cool. But I guess at this point, we're at a point in the show, guys, where we're going to wrap it up and say goodbye to Nation. And John Kraski, I know you're tuning in late. I know it's middle of the night there in Los Angeles. And I was talking to John late last night. He said, dude, he goes, that's really early. I go, I know, but it's not early in New York. It's not early in Florida, where Virgilia has been up all night. It's not early where Ty Hoesgen is in Toronto, and it's not early where C. Marty's sitting over there in Maryland. I thank Oz, Virgilia, Ty. Thanks for joining C. Marty and I this morning in the lab.
Thanks for having us. This was a ton of fun. I'm fired up.
Yes. So we're all going to have you guys back. And like I said, Nation, I want your help. I want your help putting together these Kraski Creator Rankings list. We're going to do a standing show like this every single Thursday. Our goal is to shine the light on you. So to all my creator friends out there, keep tuning in. We go Monday to Friday live in the lab. And of course, I do a live show here at noon. And hey, Virgilia, Oz, Ty, we go live on purpose because we like to have conversations. So while everybody else is creating podcasts and recording stuff and making it all perfect, we don't mind messing up here live on the air. That's what we do. Right?
Thanks for setting this
We
up.
love to mess up.
That's it, right?
Because everything is just being edited. When we look at some of the short format content that is the most successful, is people being put on the spot, not necessarily fancy editing, because that's where you see your true authenticity, your credibility, your expertise live, when it's not pre-designed or pre-arranged. So it's a great opportunity. I love interacting live with people. And thank you so much. This was such a fabulous beginning of the morning. Thank you for having us.
Awesome. Everybody, thank you. Thanks, C. Marty Fit. Thanks, Oz. Thanks, Ty. And everybody, I'm going to do one last shout out to my lovely wife, Lauren. Happy birthday, my dear. I'm looking forward to celebrating an awesome day with you today.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Lauren.
birthday, Lauren.
We'll see you guys.